Censor Delegate Vale Sor thrust his primary manipulator forward, silencing the Galactic Council's murmur. Speaker Arc, the human delegation's greeting demands immediate censure. Interpreter Node N17 rendered their lead phrase as we arrive to impose dominion. This is no overture, it's a veiled conquest signal. Gasps rippled through the chamber. Hollow displays flickered as delegates from 40 sectors froze, their frills quivering. Vale's crest pulsed with certainty. Words shaped reality in the council. He policed them all. Humans, these soft-skinned newcomers from Sol's sector, had just breached protocol on their first address. Speaker Lume Arc's tentacles tightened on her gavel. Censor Delegate, the record stands. Node N holds council certification. Proceed with motions. Marshal Atrax Tal surged to his feet, his armored bulk casting shadows across the tiered seats. I file emergency motion 47B, quarantine the human vessel and delegation. Their words confirm predatory intent. My fleets stand ready at the perimeter. Cheers erupted from the hardline block, Kragari, Vexen, and their allies. Vale nodded sharply. Atrax played the hawk well, but Vale supplied the arrow. The mistranslation hinged on human phonemes. Peace mangled into pissance, a root in ancient Kragari dialects meaning forced subjugation. Node N had flagged it perfectly. The human ambassador, Mara Kincaid, per the brief, rose without haste. Her pale face stayed smooth, voice even through the chamber's translators. Speaker Arc, I request a live retranslation of our greeting. Replay the raw audio feed. Let Node N process it directly. Atrax barked a laugh. Objection, the human seeks to tamper. Overruled, Lume cut in. Protocol allows contextual rebuild on censure challenge. Node N17 engage raw stream. Vale's manipulators clenched. Tamper? No, this tested his authority. He activated his override panel. Node N17, this is Censor Delegate Sor. Rebuild from primary audio only, strip summaries, cross-reference full human linguistic corpus. The AI's orb pulsed blue. Affirmative, Censor Delegate, processing, anomaly detected. Human idiom layer conflicts with direct lexical match. The chamber's central hollow bloomed with the replay. Kincaid's image appeared, lips moving deliberately. We come in peace. Node N17's voice droned. Initial render, we arrive to impose dominion. Rebuild Phase 1, phonemic drift corrected. Peace aligns with Sol 3 Terran root for absence of conflict. Murmurs swelled. Vale leaned forward, scanning the data streams. Impossible. The corpus showed no such ambiguity. Phase 2, Net continued, contextual intent scan. Human greeting ritual, non-hostile entry protocol observed in 87% of first contacts. No threat markers. Atrax slammed his podium. Lies, the node falters under primitive subterfuge. Kincaid spoke again, calm as a still pond. With respect, Marshal, our words carry no codes. But if my intent remains unclear, hear this plainly. Humanity seeks alliance. Harm our ship and you invite response from every vessel we carry. Not conquest, precision. The chamber hushed. Vale's crest flattened in shock. Precision. Humans packed warships behind diplomats. Node N17 chimed. Warning parsed. Layered human syntax embeds capability deterrent. Literal. Every vessel we carry references modular drone swarm tech, capacity 10,000 units. Non-bluff probability, 99.2%. Vale's feeds lit up with intercepted human schematics, drones folding from bulkheads like metallic insects. Routine for them, extraordinary for the Council. Lume raised a tentacle. Motion 47 be tabled. Ambassador Kincaid, clarify your precision. Kincaid met every gaze, unblinking. We dock probes and shuttles externally. Standard. Sever our ship, you trigger autonomous defense protocols. Billions in assets activate. No need for crews, no shots fired unless provoked. Atrax snarled. Existential threat. Quarantine now. Vale overrode the Marshal's channel. Hold, Node N17, verify drone autonomy. Verified, the AI replied. Human norm, unmanned fleets outnumber manned 12-1. Defensive cascade, swarm intercepts aggressors at light-second range. Delegates shifted. Vexen frills collapsed, Kragari claws retracted. Vale felt his reality tilt. Words didn't just shape events, humans layered them over hardware that enforced truth. Kincaid continued, voice steady. Our greeting meant welcome. Your node caught a echo from our history books. Old wars, old words, fix the idiom banks and it aligns, but test us and physics writes the record. Lume banged her gavel. Council votes reaffirm human credentials. Eyes flooded in, 3/4, sweeping Atrax's block. The marshal slumped, glaring. Vale signaled privately to Lume. Speaker, authorize full corpus upload from humans, prevent recurrence. Done, she replied. And censor delegate, update your threat models. Humans don't bluff, they prepare. Vale stared at Kincaid as she sat. Soft-spoken, routine paperwork, her posture said, yet she dismantled a war motion with facts folded into courtesy. The chamber buzzed into recess. Atrax stormed out, allies trailing. Vale lingered, replaying the audio. We come in peace. Simple, undeniable now. But the warning lingered, precision. Billions in drones, humanity's normal. He activated his slate, time to rewrite the lexicon. Kincaid caught his eye across the aisle. She nodded once, respect, not triumph. Vale nodded back, words controlled reality, until humans spoke them. As the session reconvened, Node N pinged him. New human phrase incoming, let's talk terms, context, partnership protocols. Vale braced, more layers awaited. Kincaid's shuttle docked smoothly in the Council's auxiliary bay. Vale watched from oversight, his perch high above the flux. Humans moved with quiet efficiency, tech swarming the hull, unfolding drone bays like routine maintenance. No fanfare, no boasts. Atrax's fleets peeled away from the perimeter, logs scrubbed of the near incident. The hardliner fumed in private channels, but sanctions died unspoken. Vale's manipulator hovered over the updated node protocols. Human idioms now cross-locked with hardware manifests. Peace meant absence of conflict, backed by swarms. Lume hailed him. Censor delegate, the humans propose cultural exchange, full linguistic merge. He glanced at the bay. Kincaid directed her team, soft voice carrying precise orders. Teams complied without question. Approve it, Vale said. Let their words reshape ours. The merge began. Data streams flowed, human history, tech specs, idioms unpacked. Vale's crest rose. Humans excelled at soft power layered over hard edges. The Council mastered protocol, they bent it with truth. Collaboration, not domination. As the first exchange packet sealed, Node N17 hummed contentedly. Sync complete. Threat vectors neutralized. Vale smiled, a rare flex of his secondary frills. Humanity fucked, yeah, indeed, but the real hook, their next phrase, ready for the real talks. What capabilities hid there? Vale leaned in. Time to listen. Vale's primary manipulator plunged into N17's diagnostic port. Data flooded his neural feed, parsed trees fracturing like brittle crystal under human idioms. Node, isolate the Kincaid vector, replay the collapse. N17's core hummed, projecting holographic branches. Affirmative, censor delegate, human phrase, we come in peace but don't mistake kindness for weakness. Literal parse, arrival during pacifism. Secondary intent, query unresolved. Vale's crest twitched. Branches splintered further. Weakness chained to error in judgment, then looped into armed response protocols. The tree imploded, not a word failed. The entire human context warped the node's galactic standard. Idioms layered threats over courtesy, history over syntax. Vale yanked his manipulator free. This mistranslates a civilization. Alarms blared from public feeds. Marshal Atrax Tal's face dominated the chamber's outer displays, gruff mandibles clicking. Council citizens. Humans declare, peace but not weakness. Translation confirms existential threat. Sanction fleets now? Vale's frills flared. Atrax leaked the raw node log. Panic rippled through the auxiliary bay feeds, civilian drones scattering, trade routes halting. The hardliner framed it as invasion prelude. Vale slammed his override key. Speaker Lume, closed floor hearing, lock all transcripts, no narrative drift. Lume's voice crackled over private channel. Approved, censor delegate, chamber sealing, humans en route. Mara Kincaid entered the vaulted council floor alone. No entourage. Her soft boots whispered on the polished deck. Vale watched from his sensor's dais, high and central. She carried a single data slate, human make, edges humming with encryption. Atrax loomed opposite, his security cadre bristling with stunners. Ambassador Kincaid, Vale intoned, voice steady through his modulator. Node N17 parsed your greeting as veiled aggression. Marshal Atrax broadcasts it galaxy-wide. Explain. Mara set the slate down. Her eyes, steady blue, unblinking, met Vale's multifaceted gaze. Node N17 excels at galactic standard. Human English layers context. Here's the fix. She activated the slate. A controlled vocabulary list bloomed, 847 terms, no synonyms, no idioms. Peace, absence of conflict. Kindness, non-hostile aid. Weakness, unilateral disarmament yielding advantage. Use this. Ban metaphors for the session. Vale's manipulators danced over his console. He cross-loaded the list into N17. The node pinged acceptance. Parse trees stabilized, human words now anchored like hull plating. Accepted. Risk of collapse, 0%. Atrax barked laughter, his armored frame rattling. Vocabulary games, your kindness hides weapon yields, fleets mass at the perimeter, one word and we strike. Mara didn't flinch. She tapped the slate again. A human historical manifest unrolled, battles, treaties, survival logs, no boasts, just data. Marshal, review our record. We extend peace 94% of first contacts. The 6%, they attacked first. Vale leaned forward. Humans documented everything. No spin. Atrax's mandibles ground, but he scanned the feed. His cadre shifted uneasily. Insufficient, Atrax snarled. Your idioms scream threat. Don't mistake a warning. Public demands action. Vale intervened. Transcript locked. No leaks. Ambassador, rephrase your intent. Controlled terms only. Mara nodded, voice calm like dictating reports. Council, humanity seeks alliance. We provide technology transfers. In exchange, mutual defense pacts. Reject and we withdraw all aid. No sanctions, no violence. Withdrawal. Silence gripped the chamber. Vale's sensors picked up Atrax's heat spike, frustration boiling. Withdrawal. Humans supplied 30% of the Council's antimatter stabilizers. Bay techs still swarmed their ship outside, folding drone bays with eerie precision. Lume cleared her vents from the chair's podium. Precise, no ambiguity, node, confirm parse. Confirmed, N17 droned. Intent, offer with consequence, nonviolent. Atrax slammed a claw on his dais. This masks escalation, their drones swarm killers. I order perimeter blockade. Vale overrode the feed. His authority as language censor trumped security hawks. Negative, Marshal, vocabulary enforces clarity. Ambassador's terms bind all parties. Public panic ends now. Release corrected node log. Atrax's eyes narrowed. You'll regret this, Sor. Humans bend words like they bend fleets. Mara ignored him. She addressed Vale directly. Censor delegate, test the list. Ask anything. Vale hesitated. Then, define real talks. Node flagged it post-merge. Real talks, negotiations with full disclosure. No protocol games, data only. Vale's crest rose fully. Humans stripped diplomacy bare. Galactic Council thrived on layered protocol, alliances veiled in ritual. They offered truth as weapon. He signaled Lume. Motion accept vocabulary protocol permanently. Open cultural merge under these terms. Lume polled the floor. Votes tallied green. Atrax's blockout maneuvered by precision. Carried. Atrax stormed out, his cadre trailing. Feeds updated. Misunderstanding resolved. Human intent, peaceful exchange. Panic ebbed. Trade drones resumed paths. Vale watched Mara gather her slate. She moved with the same quiet efficiency as her Bay teams. No victory strut, just work done. Private channel from Lume. Well played, Vale. Atrax consolidates power on fear. You dismantled it with syllables. He flexed his secondary frills, a smile in his culture. Humans didn't bluff. They defined terms, then enforced with capability. Node N, sync the merge fully now, human data flooding in, engine specs, idiom breakers, historical precedents. Vale queried one file, human diplomacy manuals. Pages of contingency trees, each backed by simruns. A subnode pinged. Incoming human packet, ready for the real talks, parse stable. Attached, full defensive manifest. Vale's manipulators froze, he opened it. Schematics unfolded, drone swarms not for attack but perimeter denial. Yield enough to hold the entire Council's frontier. Casually attached like footnotes. Mara paused at the chamber doors. She glanced back, eyes locking on Vale's dais. A faint nod. Then gone, Vale exhaled. Atrax's fleets peeled away outside, logs scrubbing the near incident. Sanctions died unspoken, but that manifest. Humans layered soft power over edges sharp as monoblades. Collaboration, yes, on their precise terms. He hovered over the updated node protocols. Approve full merge, he told Lume. Let their words reshape ours. Data streams flowed. Vale's crest stayed high. The Council mastered protocol. Humans mastered reality beneath it. Node hummed. Sync complete, threat vectors neutralized. Vale leaned into the feed. What hid in the next packet? In the auxiliary bay below, Mara directed her team. Soft voice, precise orders. Text complied without question. Drones folded away. A-tracks fumed in private channels. Vale smiled, a rare frill flex. Humanity fucked yeah, but the real question burned, what capabilities waited in full disclosure. Vale keyed the merge deeper. Time to find out. Public feeds lit up anew, not panic but awe. Human aid surges, council strengthened. A-Trax's block fractured, whispers of respect spread. Vale watched it all. Words controlled reality until humans redefined them. One packet pinged, proposal, joint fleet exercises. Using our vocab, he accepted. The galaxy shifted one clear term at a time. Lume hailed. Censor delegate, they're requesting you personally for the first exchange. Vale rose. On my way. The chamber doors hissed open. Mara waited, slate extended. Shall we? He followed. Into the real talks. Vale matched Mara's stride down the annex corridor. Polished floors gleamed under security stanchions. Her slate hummed in her grip. He gestured ahead. This way, secure annex. Protocol demands verification before full disclosure. Mara nodded once. Lead on, censor delegate. Doors irised shut behind them. Vale activated the chamber seal. Hollow panels flickered to life, projecting council statutes in layered script. He pivoted to face her. Time to test. Human Ambassador, under Article 47, Subclause 9, you affirm no concealed armaments in your delegation's manifests. Mara's eyes met his. Steady. No flinch. Affirmative. Clause 1, armaments defined per Council Directive 112 as offensive yield greater than 0.01 teratons. Clause 2, our manifests list defensive shields only calibrated below threshold. Clause 3, full scans available via node sync. Confirm definitions. Vale's crest twitched. She turned his phrasing inside out. He cleared his vents. Definitions confirmed. Shields qualify as non-armaments. Proceeding. Mara tapped her slate. Data packets bloomed on the hollow. He pressed harder. Article 62, Clause 4, you waive sovereignty claims on shared tech protocols. Her response snapped back. Negative. Clause 1, waiver applies only to pre-existing pacts. Clause 2, our proposal offers reciprocity, not surrender, per Statute 19. Clause 3, sovereignty intact unless mutual ratification. Confirm waiver per lexicon update. Vale's frills heated. The node's fresh human layers bound him. He vocalized it. Waiver confirmed as unilateral, reciprocity bilateral. Correct. She leaned in. Your turn, merge complete. He hesitated. Her calm dissected his traps like routine audits. One more. Article 91, humans pledge non-interference in Council security matrices. Mara smiled faintly. Pledge with caveats. Clause 1, non-interference excludes defensive responses to initiated threats. Clause 2, matrices defined as active protocols only, excluding dormant archives. Clause 3, pledge logged via node for enforceability. Confirm interference scope. Vale's vents cycled fast. She forced his hand aloud each time, words locked in. Scope confirmed, dormant archives exempt. Alarms blared, corridor lights strobed red. Vale spun. Marshal A-Trax's voice boomed from overhead vents. Security breach protocol, drones deploy to protect the Council. Spheres whirred into view. 20 armored drones, monoblade edges glinting, pincered the annex mouth. They locked formation around Mara and her two aides. Red targeting grids swept her form. A-Trax's hollow materialized midair, his armored crest flared. Ambassador Kincaid, stand down. Your disclosures triggered threat vectors. Surrender slates for inspection or we extract. Vale's crest spiked. A-Trax moved too fast. Drones hummed, fields charging. The human aides froze, hands visible. Mara didn't. She raised her slate high, voice level. Speaker Lume, emergency hail, reciprocity statute 7 invoked. The speaker's hollow snapped into the corridor, overriding A-Trax. Lume's tendrils quivered. Statute 7, obscure, state basis. Mara projected the text. Enacted Cycle 192, post-Krell incursion. Clause 1, any member species deploying security assets against another during negotiation grants mirror protections. Clause 2, human delegation now claims equal drone complement. Clause 3, failure to comply voids A-Trax's deployment as procedural breach. Node corroborate. Node N17 chimed. Net sync corroborated, statute active. Human request deploy equivalent assets. A-Trax bellowed. This is security, not negotiation. Drones advance. Drones edged forward. Vale stepped between. Marshal, stand down. Node rules. Mara tapped her slate. A new packet burst outward. Human tech signatures pinged the annex grid. From the delegation bay below, sleek pods rocketed up. Not weapons, counter-drones. Identical in count, matte black with blue compliance lights. They unfolded midair, fields syncing to council specs. Grids locked onto Atrax's spheres. Standoff perfect. Lume's hollow sharpened. Reciprocity granted. Marshal Atrax, withdraw or face mutual neutralization. Atrax's mandibles clicked fury. This human twisted ancient ink. She's bluffing. Those pods are mockeries. Mara's voice cut clean. No bluff. Clause 4 of Statute 7. Mirror assets must match capability. Our drones calibrate to your monoblade yield 0.01 teratons max. Node scan confirms parity. Speaker in force. Node hummed. Parity verified. Standoff enforced. Breach by either voids protections galaxy-wide. Drones hovered, grids kissing grids. Vale watched Atrax's frills droop. The hardliners' blocked channels crackled, subordinates peeling off. Public feeds captured it all. Humans surrounded, yet dictating terms. No shots, pure protocol. Atrax snarled. Regrouping for formal protest. His drones retracted blades, backed off in sync with the human pods. Lume exhaled, static. Crisis averted. Ambassador, your precision honors the council. Delegate Vale, escort resumes. Mara lowered her slate. After confirmation, Censor Delegate. Vale's crest rose full, he nodded. All definitions confirmed, proceed to annex. They entered, doors sealed. Atrax's hollow lingered outside, fuming. Vale projected the full merge feed. Human packets flooded in fleet schematics, idiom parsers, joint exercise sims. Mara's team synced without a glitch. Vale leaned close. You dismantled my traps, Atrax's gambit. How did you anticipate? She glanced up, soft-spoken as ever. Routine paperwork, Delegate. Words are tools. Yours just needed sharpening. His frills flexed respect. Outside, whispers spread. Alien shock rippled through channels. Humans turned drones into diplomats. Atrax's power cracked. But one packet pulsed unopened. Labeled Full Disclosure Phase 2. Vale keyed it. Schematics bloomed, ships that bent reality without a shot. His vents stilled. Mara watched him. Ready for the next exchange? Corridor feeds lit with awe. The galaxy watched. What came next redefined everything. Vale extended a tendril. Lead, Ambassador, your vocab. She smiled. They dove deeper. Atrax's protest pinged, ignored. Collaboration locked in one clause at a time. Vale's console chimed. A priority alert from the public archive. He flicked a tendril. Atrax's edited clip played. Mara's voice boomed. Humanity claims these sectors yield or face consequences. No qualifiers, no if provoked. No safety clauses. Vale's frills snapped rigid. Fabricated. The full exchange included contingencies. Mara paused her data sync. Her human eyes flicked to his display. Delegate, Marshal Atrax truncated your statement. Vale replayed the original Bodicam feed. Her soft words layered, precise. Humanity claims these sectors only if provoked beyond reason. Yield peacefully or face measured consequences proportional to the threat. The annex hummed with sudden tension. Her team froze mid-upload. Speaker Lume Ark's channel crackled. Censor Delegate Vale, report anomaly. Chamber reconvenes in 5 cycles. Vale's vents hissed. Atrax had scrubbed the context. Turned diplomacy into declaration of war. He keyed his override. Audit initiated. Public clip violates Protocol 47B. Drones word outside the annex doors. Atrax's signature pulsed on the feed. Mara tapped her slate. My Bodicam log. Verifiable chain of custody. Timestamp to the picosecond. She projected it. Crystal feed bloomed, her calm face amid the drone standoff. Full audio synced with council timestamps. Multispectral hashes confirmed untampered. Vale cross-referenced. Perfect match. Net's translation glitch exposed. Idiom back off or else mangled to absolute threat without human caveats. Indisputable, Vale declared. His crest flared approval. Humans logged everything like breathing. Lume's voice cut in. Chamber now, all delegates. They rushed the corridor. Whispers rippled from alien aides. Humans anticipated the edit. Atrax's hollow dominated the chamber dais. Speaker, this human aggression demands sanctions. Preemptive blockade. Vote immediately. Councilors shifted. Creve Block nodded, Atrax's allies hungry for human fringe worlds. Vale surged forward. Hold, evidence first. Atrax's mandibles clicked. Your evidence, human propaganda. Their logs self-forged, net collapsed under their word traps. They invaded our parse nets. Mara stepped beside Vale, soft-spoken, no raised voice. Marshal, cross-verify my log against your public clip. Timestamps align. Edits traced to your relay node 9 alpha. Atrax's optics narrowed. Lies, vote now before they flood us with fakes. Speaker Lume raised a pincer. Motion tabled. Creve delegates buzzed assent. Sanctions, isolate the threat. Vale's tendrils lashed his console. Words controlled reality here. Atrax twisted them into weapons. But humans, they sharpened truth like blades. He invoked protocol. Censor delegate demands forensic audit. Council standard. All audio sources, bodycams, relays, net buffers, no vote until certified. Chamber stilled. Lume's shell gleamed under lights. Precedent? Charter 12C. Linguistic integrity supersedes haste. Vale locked eyes with Atrax. Delay the vote, Marshal, or expose your edit. Atrax recoiled. Treason, Vale favors primates. Mara's hand rested on her slate. No bluff, just facts stacked like armor. Lume intoned, audit granted. Node N17 primary, results in 10 cycles. Atrax's drones bristled, but protocol bound him. He snarled, retreat. Vale exhaled, crisis teetered. Mara nodded fractionally. Her comm treated this like filing forms. Interpreter node N activated. Buffering all streams. Human idiom layers detected. 47% parse failure in original clip. Counselors gasped. Net brittle paragon admitted defeat to human nuance. Vale monitored the audit feed. Atrax's relay pinged suspicious overwrites. Timestamps fudged by 0.3 seconds. Got you, Vale muttered. Mara leaned in. Delegate, your audit nets are elegant like semantic webs. His frills warmed. Aliens wove protocols, humans navigated them without nets. 5 cycles ticked. Creve delegates huddled, whispering blockade sims. Atrax paced his dais, mandibles grinding. Net chimed. Forensic complete. Public clip 82% excised. Human safety terms confirmed present. Marshal Atrax relay unauthorized truncation. Chamber erupted. Creve crests drooped. Atrax bellowed. Net corrupted. Human hack. Vale projected the chain. Net's raw buffer matched Mara's log. Multi-spec seals intact. Atrax's node alone diverged. Proof undeniable, Vale stated. Sanctions withdrawn. Censure Marshal Atrax for protocol breach. Lume banged gavel equivalent. Motion passes 78%. Atrax's hollow flickered rage. His block fractured, whispers of resignation pinged. Mara addressed the chamber. Council, humanity seeks exchange, not conquest. Our words carry conditions, honor them. Aliens leaned forward. A Vexi delegate extended a probe. Your logs, self-auditing. Standard procedure, Mara replied. Keeps paperwork honest. Vale's vents stilled in awe. Humans treated galactic crises like routine logs, no bluster, just chains of truth no one could break. Speaker Lume turned to him. Censor delegate, your delay saved chambers from fracture. Vale nodded, but Atrax's final glare lingered. This isn't over, Word Weaver. Audit complete, feeds cleared. Mara synced the unopened packet. Phase 2 bloomed, human drives that warped space without weapons. Defensive webs, precise as her diplomacy. Vale extended a tendril. Ambassador, your precision redefines negotiation. She smiled faintly. Just words, delegate, sharpened right. Corridor channels lit with alien chatter. Humans turned lies into lessons. Atrax's power base crumbled, but Vale caught a ping. Atrax's private fleet mobilizing. Off record, vote delayed, but hardliners didn't wait for audits. He alerted Mara. Her slate hummed response. No panic, just another log entry. The chamber doors sealed on collaboration. Outside, shadows gathered. Atrax needed no proof, just momentum. Vale's console flagged an intercept. Creve ships vectoring to human fringe. Sanctions failed, blockade brewed. Ambassador, Vale urged. Escalation inbound. Mara cued a subspace burst. Human response fleets lit navs, not aggressive. Positioned, waiting, her voice stayed soft. They'll stand down, delegate, words first. Net parsed her intent, 100% clarity, no idioms, pure warning. Atrax's gambit cracked wider. Galaxy watched humans log the unraveling. Vale flexed respect. Aliens debated words. Humans enforced them, but the fleet pings accelerated. Vote or no, war loomed one jump away. Mara keyed open comms. Marshal Atrax, audit complete, your move. Silence. Then his snarl, humans bluff. Her reply, verify our positions. No bluff. Vale watched scopes. Human ships held exact defensive lines, mirroring her excised clauses. Atrax's fleet hesitated. Probes confirmed, humans ready, restrained. Creve block pinged retreat, momentum shattered. Lume reconvened. Incident closed, full exchange proceeds. Atrax's hollow winked out, defeated. Vale leaned to Mara. How you predicted his edit? Routine, she said. Patterns in protocol, yours are predictable, effective. His crest rose. Aliens built unbreakable rules. Humans bent them without breaking. Collaboration flooded in. Joint idiom parsers shared sims. Net upgraded live, human code patching its fractures. Alien shock rippled channels. Humans fixed what we broke. Vale sealed the annex. Phase 2 integrated seamless. Reality benders locked to council defense. Outside, Atrax slunk to shadows. Power gone, but one whisper pinged Vale's private net, fringe block rallying. Humans too precise, strike before they log us, he forwarded to Mara. Her slate pinged back, logged, response queued. No war, just paperwork, galaxy shifted. Words bent to human clarity, Vale's frills settled. Collaboration won, one precise clause at a time, yet scopes flickered. A rogue Creve scout probed human edge. Testing, Mara noticed. Delegate, your forensic webs caught that? Affirm, he traced it, her finger tapped. Warning burst sent. Scout veered, compliance. Atrax's lesson spread, truth outpaced votes. Council channels buzzed awe, humans turned crisis to custom. Vale extended full alliance tendril. Lead ambassador, she nodded, they sink deeper. One galaxy redefined. Vale's frills quivered as his slate chimed. Another rogue probe signature flickered on the shared forensic web, Creve origin edging human space. He forwarded it to Mara. Her response blinked instant. Drafting deterrence protocol. She tapped her console. Lines of text scrolled up. State it now, Vale said. Pure denotative language, no idioms, no cultural subtext. Council dialect only. Mara nodded. Her voice stayed even, like reciting inventory. Message draft, part 1, trigger. Any armed incursion into human-claimed volume exceeding 5 light minutes from verified borders constitutes violation. Verification via shared multispectral logs, timestamped to picosecond accuracy. Part 2, deadline. Cease all probes within 12 standard hours of detection log transmission. Noncompliance activates response. Part 3, response. Human defensive assets will neutralize violating vessels with kinetic interceptors calibrated to disable command modules only. Post-incident audit by neutral observers from this council. Full logs public within 48 hours. Vale's crest flattened, precise, measurable, no poetry, no threats veiled in metaphor. He routed it through his dialect verifier, 7 legal strains from core worlds, Creve binding code, Lurin clause webs, even the rigid Thull imperatives. First pass, identical meaning. Second, unchanged, through all 7, meanings locked, no drift. Flawless, he murmured. His tendrils synced deeper with her console. Net, parse, and broadcast prep, the interpreter node hummed. Affirmative, sensor delegate, human syntax integrates, no fractures detected. Vale signaled speaker Lume. Chamber reconvene, deterrence clause for record. Lume's hollow bloomed central. Proposal accepted. Ambassador Kincaid deliver the warning. Mara stood. Her posture stayed relaxed, hands open. She recited the 3 parts verbatim. Council feeds lit with confirmations, logs syncing live. Atrax Tal's hollow crashed in unbidden. Objection, this is alien-tongued slight. Humans hide barbs in translation, demand the warning in their primal speech. Original human audio unfiltered. Gasps rippled through channels. Protocol breach. Vale's frills spiked. Atrax exploited the old error, the idiom collapse that nearly sparked sanctions. Lume hesitated. Martial decorum? Vote it, Atrax barked. His block pinged en masse, tallies flipped, majority locked. Vale leaned to Mara. Refuse, it's a trap. She smiled faintly. Agreed immediately. The chamber froze. Mara activated her translator reverse feed. Human words poured out, crisp English overlaid with denotative subs. Part 1, trigger. Any armed incursion into human-claimed volume exceeding 5 light minutes from verified borders constitutes violation. Verification via shared multispectral logs, timestamped to picosecond accuracy. Part 2, Deadline. Cease all probes within 12 standard hours of detection log transmission. Noncompliance activates response. Part 3. Response. Human defensive assets will neutralize violating vessels with kinetic interceptors calibrated to disable command modules only. Post-incident audit by neutral observers from this council. Full logs public within 48 hours. Silence crushed the feeds. No subtext. No growl, just clauses machined clean. Vale's verifier autoran it. 8 dialects now, including raw human phonemes, meaning held. Identical Atrax's mandibles clacked. This is no threat speech. Where's the rage, the vow of annihilation? Mara tilted her head. It's a warning, Marshal, not a bluff. We state facts. You choose compliance, Net chimed. Analysis, human original matches denotative parse at 100%. No layered intent. No cultural drift. Council murmurs swelled. Vale watch scopes fringe block signals stuttered. The Creve probe veered hard, logs confirming retreat. Lume banged gavel hollow. Warning entered record. Unanimous bind. Marshal, your challenge fails. Atrax's image flickered out. No rally, just static. Vale's tendrils extended to Mara. You agreed without pause. Why? Routine, she said. They demanded clarity. We provided it. His crest rose full. Words controlled reality until humans wielded them like tools. No bend, no break, just truth forged precise, but his private net pinged. Atrax's whisper net, not over, humans log everything, strike blind zones. Vale forwarded it. Myra's slate glowed. Expanding verification webs, joint op. Affirm, he said. Collaboration surged anew. Net patched deeper with human code. Alien linguists queued for idiom sims. Chamber feeds buzzed tags. Human clarity outpaces our webs. Speaker Lume approached via sub-channel. Delegate Soar, your verify saved us. Kincaid's precision. Unprecedented. Vale nodded. Humans treat warnings like contracts. We treat them like prophecies. Outside, forensic webs expanded. Rogue signatures winked out one by one. Mara's triggers worked. Deadlines held. No shots fired. Yet a new ping hit, deep fringe armada massing beyond log range. Atrax's shadow play. Vale traced it. Ambassador. Cued, she said. Her draft bloomed, 4-part escalation ladder. Measurable, verifiable, inviting council cosign. He ran dialects, perfect sync. Council channels lit. Humans redefined deterrence. Vale's frills settled. One precise clause at a time, galaxy realigned. But the armada crept closer. Test imminent. Mara tapped send. Verification step 1, transmit positions now. Probes launched from neutral hubs. Logs flooded shared space. Armada halted. Compliance logged. Atrax's net went dark. Vale synced full. Lead on. She nodded. They built the next clause together. Reality bent no more. It clarified. In the chamber's afterglow, Vale reviewed net's upgrade logs. Human patches filled every fracture. Idiom parsers that adapted live context layers that self-verified. Aliens marveled in side channels. They fix what we shatter. A junior delegate pinged him. Sensor delegate request human idiom training for Phase 3. Approved, Vale replied. Start with routine. Mara overheard, chuckled soft. It means we prepare. His crest quivered laughter. Humans turned crisis to curriculum, but scopes pinged faint. A single stealth drone, Atrax marked, slipping human pickets. Vale alerted her. Trigger, Part 1 active. Kinetic signatures bloomed on shared feeds. Drone's command module sparked out, drifted inert. Audit cams spun up. Neutral observers locked in. 48 hours later, logs dropped public. Clean disable, no excess. Council awe-crested, humans warned true. Vale sealed the annex file. Collaboration etched permanent. Atrax's block fractured, hardliners defected to precision protocols. One whisper remained. They log our thoughts next. Mara's response cued. Only actions, words are yours. Galaxy hummed stable. Words served humans now. Vale extended alliance core. Ambassador, your clarity binds us. Mutual, she said. One clause forward. They synced. Deterrence evolved to defense net. Human triggers, alien verifies. No war, just ledgers. Yet fringe edges stirred. A new block whispered, precision is power, emulate. Vale smiled frill. Humans sparked the shift, Mara noticed. Patterns predictable, effective. He nodded, reality's new tongue, clear, human forged. Council reconvened for Phase 4. Lume beamed. Kincaid Soar doctrine, vote. Unanimous. Atrax watched from shadows, silent. Warning 1. Ambassador Mara Kincaid tapped the podium override. Her voice filled the chamber, unfiltered English first. Humans will defend our worlds. We log every incursion. We track every drone. Strikes end threats, permanently. Sensor Delegate Vale Soar's frill stiffened. He leaned into his sensor console, eyes locked on the shared holofeed. Interpreter node N17, net, hummed, parsing the words. Translations cascaded across delegate pads, polite advisories, deference to council protocol. Humans request logging assistance. Humans propose shared tracking. Vale's mandibles clicked. Too soft. Atrax's block would shred it. Kincaid continued, calm as filing reports. Define, defend. Under Human Concordance Article 47, Subsection 2 Alpha, active neutralization of confirmed hostiles within our sovereign volume. No exceptions. Net glitched. Pods flickered. Vale punched his override key. Node sync legal appendices. The AI pinged compliance. Fresh overlays bloomed, full texts, precedents, kill chain diagrams, human law raw and etched. Kincaid pressed on. Log every incursion. Concordance Audit Protocol 19, real-time telemetry from 1,247 orbital arrays, cross-verified by independent AIs. Public release within 72 hours. Delegate crests flared galaxy-wide. Vale watched biosensors spike on his panel, heart rates doubling, pheromones flooding aggression markers. Zeril from the outer rim clutched his pad. They catalog us? Track every drone. Sensor net resolution 0.3 meters, quantum entanglement relays, no stealth penetrates. Atrax Tal surged to his feet, scales rippling red. But Kincaid didn't pause. Strikes end threats, permanently. Kinetic interceptors yield calibrated to mass displacement. Residue inert debris, zero fallout. Vale's vents wheezed dry air, biosensors redlined. The chamber realized it together. Restraint wasn't weakness. Humans chose precision. Every polite phrase chained to ledgers of power. Speaker Lume Arc hammered her gavel. Order, sensor soar, certify the feed. Vale's claws flew across keys. Certified. Human speech aligns verbatim. Legal anchors verified across 412 council tongues. He attached the full concordance codex. No escape now. Marshal Atrax Tal bellowed over the din. This is no clarification, it's an ultimatum. Humans threaten the council on our floor. His security drones hummed to life, hovering toward Kincaid's podium. Arrest her for incitement, delegates gasped. Lume's crest flattened. Vale's console blared alerts, Atrax's block voting sanctions live. Kincaid didn't flinch. She smiled, soft-spoken steel. Marshal, reframe all you like, verify instead. She keyed her pad. An invitation packet beamed to every delegate. Council inspectors, human vessels, full access, 48 hours, scan our arrays, audit our logs. Test a drone if you wish, we'll track it clean. Silence crashed. Vale's frill pulsed heat. Inspectors on human pickets, Atrax's drones froze mid-hover. Refuse, Kincaid added, and your block's on the doubt. Accept and logs prove intent. Atrax snarled. Trap, they hide weapons. Clause 12B, Kincaid countered. Open manifests. Warheads listed by serial. Inspectors nominate destruct codes. Vale cross-checked. True, human transparency weaponized. Lume scanned her pad. Motion, accept inspection, vote now. Atrax's allies shifted. Biosensors dipped, fear overrode fury. Zeril voted yes first, then the Rim coalitions. Atrax pounded his console, alone. Passed, Lume declared. Inspectors deploy at 600. Ambassador, your clarity noted. Kincaid nodded. Routine, we prepare. Vale's mandibles parted. Routine, humans turned existential brink to checklist. Atrax stormed from the chamber, drones trailing. Whispers chased him. They log thoughts next. Kincaid caught Vale's gaze. She mouthed clear, actions only. His frill quivered. Laughter, respect. Both. But scopes pinged as session broke. A Atrax drone slipped perimeter scans, ghosting toward human space. Vale alerted her private channel. Test, her reply blinked. Part 1 active. Kinetic blooms lit feeds minutes later. Drones sparked inert. Audit cams locked. Neutral observers spun up. Vale sealed the annex. Collaboration queued. Atrax's block cracked wide. 48 hours ticked down. Inspectors returned, crests high. Arrays live, logs pure, restraint. Chosen, council all peaked. Lume reconvened. Kincaid soar doctrine. Formalize, Vale stood. Words bind now. Unanimous, Atrax watched from shadows. Silent, fringe blocks stirred. Emulate precision. Mara noticed Vale's glance. Patterns hold effective. He nodded, human-forged clarity, galaxy's new tongue. But one ping lingered, new drone signature, emulative code. Vale smiled frill. Phase 2, Kincaid's Q, verify together. Alliance core synced, deterrence to defense. No war, just ledgers, evolving. Kincaid's podium light dimmed. Vale lingered, replaying the feed. Net's glitch log glowed. Human idiom overload, routine as curriculum. He keyed Phase 3. Train on prepare. Her chuckle echoed soft. Approved. Scopes pinged again, A-Track's fringe. Vale alerted, blooms followed, clean, humans sparked it, words served them. Reality bent precise. Council hummed stable, one clause forward. But A-Trax's whisper reached Vale's private net. They log thoughts next. Vale forwarded to Kincaid. Reply, words yours, actions ours. Frill quivered full, shift complete. Lume beamed from dais. Vote Kincaid soar? Echoed yes. A-Trax faded. Galaxy learned, polite warnings kill drones. Precision wins wars unspoken. Vale extended core link. Ambassador, clarity binds. Mutual, she said. Forward. They synced. Fringe stirred no more. Warning echoed eternal. Human true. The chamber seals hissed shut. Vale powered down, but his pad buzzed. Inspection prelims. Human arrays outresolved council nets by factors 10. Restraint logged as doctrine. He frilled approval. Aliens verified. Humans prepared. A-Trax's last drone drifted public feeds. Inert. Audited, one revelation burned. Humans never bluffed. They defined. Vale cued alliance draft. Collaboration etched. Phase 4 loomed. Emulate. Kincaid's ping. Teach. Galaxy hummed human-tuned. Peace precise. But a new block whispered from voids. Precision is power. Vale smiled. Patterns predictable. Effective. Council reconvened dawn. Lume, doctrine vote. Unanimous roar, A-Trax silent. Warning 1, fringe emulated. Defense net wove, human triggers, alien verifies, no shots, ledgers held. Vale's final log, words control reality. Humans prove otherwise. Reality's tongue, clear, forged human, stable hum, forward. Vale's frill snapped taut as he slammed the forensic audit onto the central net. Council attention, A-Trax Tal edited node N17's logs, direct insertion, timestamp fraud. Gasps rippled through the chamber. A-Trax bolted upright from his dais seat, mandibles clacking. Lies, Vale forges to shield primitives. Vale projected the raw data streams. Pristine code scrolled. A-Trax's private key overwrote Net's translation buffer. The error human idiom, hold your fire, rendered as extinguish your lineage, was no glitch. Deliberate twist. Vale's core pulsed satisfaction. Words bent reality, now truth snapped it straight. Speaker Lume Arc's vents flared. Audit verified, cross nets. Triple checked, Vale said. Human arrays flagged it first. Their firewalls outpace ours. A-Trax's faction surged forward, claws scraping marble. Martial drones hummed to life overhead, red lights pulsing. Secure the chamber, A-Trax bellowed. Humans threaten protocol. Vale stood firm, his pad linked to Kincaid's station. She nodded once, calm as void, no panic in her posture, just readiness. Lume hammered the gavel node. Security override, A-Trax stand down or face expulsion. Drones hesitated. A-Trax sneered. You yield to soft skins. Their restraint hides claws. Vale forwarded the audit to every delegate's feed. Views spiked, 98% consensus. A-Trax's block crumbled as neutrals frilled in outrage. One by one, they peeled away. Procedural fraud confirmed, Lume declared. Marshal A-Trax Tal stripped of security authority. Faction vacate the dais immediately. Enforcer bots word in, clamping A-Trax's arms. He thrashed, roaring. This ignites war, humans mock us. His allies slunk off, tails low. The dais cleared in seconds. Vale's frill relaxed a fraction. Precision cut deeper than blades. Kincaid rose then, her voice soft but steel-edged. Speaker Lume, Council, the misunderstanding is rectified, but humanity's warning stands. Test our patience, face our response. No bluster, fact. Murmurs swelled. Vale watched her closely. Humans spoke layers, surface calm over coiled force. Net's failure exposed it. AI parsed words, not intent. Lume leaned forward. Ambassador proposed terms, bind this warning to protocol. Kincaid slid a holopad across. Joint verification protocol. Human tech audits all translations real-time. Council verifies threats, shared nets. Crisis escalates, we coordinate, not clash. Vale scanned the draft, flawless clauses. Human arrays integrated without dominance. Alien linguists like him held veto. Collaboration, not conquest. Sign, Lume prompted. Kincaid's stylus danced. Done, she pushed it to Vale. Censor delegate, his core linked. Verified, he signed. Bound. The chamber erupted in approvals. Feeds lit unanimous. Atrax's last drone fizzled midair, net jammed. Vale cued the archive note. Fingers flew. Do not test human restraint as weakness. Logged, eternal. But as cheers faded, Vale's private net pinged. Kincaid's face appeared. Inspection prelims ready, delegate. Your audit impressed our analysts. He frilled query. Impressed how? Resolved our nets by factors of 10. You caught what we flagged but dissected motive first. Linguistic forensics, rare skill. Vale's vents warmed. Aliens excelled at words, humans at action veiled in humility. Trade, teach, she said. Your precision tempers our speed. Phase 4 dawned. Council reconvened at first light. Lume opened. Doctrine vote. Human soar protocol. Roar unanimous. Atrax watched from the gallery, silent, chained. Vale synced his core to the new net. Human triggers armed alien verifies. No shots fired. Ledgers balanced. Fringe whispers reached him mid-session. Precision is power. Emulate humans. He smiled inwardly. Patterns shifted. Effective. A new alert buzzed. Outer block drone signatures. Testing boundaries. Vale forwarded to Kincaid. Her reply, words yours, actions ours. Drone went inert. Audited clean. Reality hummed human-tuned. Stable. But Vale lingered on the hook in every mind. Council feared no weapons. They feared how humans chose not to unleash them. Vale powered down his station, but the chamber seals hissed open too soon. Delegates milled, frills buzzing with post-vote chatter. He caught Atrax's glare from the expulsion dock, mandibles set but eyes calculating. Delegate soar, Lume waved him to the dais. Archive the full record, include human restraint doctrine. Vale nodded, core already compiling. Streams merged, audit logs, nets collapse under human idioms, Kincaid's unflinching calm. One file, Galactic Council Resolution 47 Omega, clarity over chaos. Uploaded. Views climbed. Kincaid approached, flanked by her silent security, humans in plain suits, eyes scanning every angle. Delegate joint sims, test the protocol on fringe scenarios. Now, Vale's frill twitched, no rest phase. Restraint demands practice. She tapped her pad. Hollow bloomed, simulated drone swarm breaching neutral space. Vale linked in. His linguistics parsed intent vectors, her arrays crunched trajectories. Translation, probe, not attack. Verified. Her finger hovered a shutdown code. Drone sims halted, perfect sync. Delegates gathered, watching. Whispers turned to awe. They weave without strain. Martial enforcers nodded respect, former Atrax loyalists. Lume's voice cut through. Ambassador, your arrays share baseline specs. Kincaid smiled faintly. Open source. But calibrate to your linguists first. Words fail without context. Vale frilled full approval. Humans gifted power humbly. Aliens wielded it precise. Atrax's faction remnants huddled in the shadows. One pinged Vale privately. Join us. Humans dominate. Observe, Vale replied. They elevate, Sim ended. Council net stable. Fringe drones silent. Vale cued alliance draft. Collaboration etched permanent. Dawn cycle peaked. Vale strode inspection bays, Kincaid at his side. Human shuttle loomed, sleek, unadorned. Arrays gleamed inside, resolution dwarfing council tech. Restraint logged as doctrine, he said, scanning readouts. She nodded. We prepare always, but fire only when words fail. A test ping, outer void signatures, block probes, Vale's core flagged idiom layers. Kincaid's arrays locked trajectories. Warning shot trajectory cued, your verify? Intent cautionary, he stamped, pulse fired, silent, probes veered, no war, precision won. Atrax's last public feed looped, inert drone audited fraud, Vale smiled, galaxy learned. Polite warnings neutralized fleets, new blocks stirred voids. Emulate precision. Predictable, effective, council hummed forward, human forged. Vale archived the final note, frill steady. Words control reality, humans prove otherwise. But as he sealed the vault, Kincaid's ping glowed. Phase 5 draft, your thoughts? He opened it, deeper integration, shared command webs, core raced, opportunity. A shadow crossed his feed, Atrax, petitioning reinstatement. Vale forwarded to Lume, then to her, test. Teach, she replied, fringe hummed alert. New signatures, Vale stood, words ready, actions synced, the real test loomed.